Jack is dead, my friend. You can call me Joker.
Hello and welcome back to Bearded Geek Toy Reviews. Yes, we are back. Apologies for the absence. I did leave a post on the channel's page a couple of days ago just explaining everything that's been going on, but not going into too much detail, you know, because I don't want to bore you guys. But yes, we are back making content, and to give you a clue, this video is a brand new DC Multiverse figure that has been released, and it's linked to the Tim Burton 1989 Batman movie. Here is my 1989 Michael Keaton Batman, which obviously strikes that wonderful pose, which I got and reviewed several months ago. So you can see it in the background. I'm just going to move this guy out, and then we can have a closer look at the packaging and get him better in shot. And there you go. It's the, well, the supposed Joker from the 1989 Batman movie. But as we'll probably see once we get the figure out of the packaging, it's not quite Jack Nicholson. There is a reason behind that, and basically the reason is no one's officially confirmed anything, but Todd McFarlane and obviously insiders in the industry have basically said that Jack Nicholson charges an awful lot of money for his likeness to be used, which made it completely cost prohibitive to do an actual accurate Jack Nicholson 89 Joker figure. So McFarlane came up with a bit of a solution, probably the best that they could do, and that was to base the figure on his appearance in the comics. Now, there's a comic image on the back there that you can see, and obviously that's going to be replicated in the trading card. So what they're saying is, again, this is bizarre, even though this is not technically Jack Nicholson's Joker, it is the Joker from the 1989 comic book adaptation of the Tim Burton movie. Yeah, I know it's if it's their way of getting around the legal loophole and not paying Jack Nicholson an absolute shed load of money by wheeling it up to his house in a big dumper truck and saying, can we please make a 7-inch action figure out of your character, then I get it. Yeah, it's probably the compromise. It's probably the best that we're going to get, and we'll look at the figure in more detail. I think they've done a fairly good job. They've done the best they can. So obviously this is the McFarlane Collectors Edition. This is the Joker from Batman. Doesn't mention 89 on there, obviously probably for legal reasons. But yes, he looks very much dressed in Jack Nicholson's costume from the movie. So without further ado, let's crack open the box and have a closer look at this Joker.
Uh-oh. You don't look happy. He's been using Brand X. But with new Joker brand, I get a grin again.
So before we get to the main figure and the actual accessories that it comes with, obviously you get the standard DC Multiverse stand, now with the old new DC Bullet logo on there. And the trading card, which obviously replicates the image from the back of the packaging and basically gives you a very generic description of the Joker. You'll notice there that the real name, it says unknown, and obviously in the Tim Burton 89 version of Batman, we did actually find out the Joker's name. He was called Jack Napier. So obviously they've probably omitted that again to stop any potential legal action, just to avoid, like, you know, getting into trouble. So before we get to the figure, let's go through the numerous accessories. So he does come with two fisted hands there, which obviously are in his purple gloves, which you could swap out. You've also got 2 gesture hands, again painted as if he's wearing gloves, even though if you look closely, let's just see if the camera zooms in, you can actually see they have got fingernails on the end. So they're just generic hands that they've painted purple. But, you know, you get the idea, they're supposed to be gloves. You get the famous orange megaphone that he has, that he uses in 2 scenes in the movie. Namely, obviously, when Batman is blowing up Access Chemicals. And obviously, he's holding that and speaking to Batman via the helicopter. So that's that there. And then you get 2 guns. You get the famous long pistol that he pulls out of his trousers and brings the Batwing down in the final act of the movie. It's a little bit bent, as these things usually are when they've been packaged. But some nice detail, a nice gunmetal colour on there. So if you wanted to straighten that out, then obviously you're just going to stick that in hot water and just kind of like move it around a bit so you can get it a little bit straighter. So that's that gun. He comes with his second gun. It's nice to see McFarlane figures coming with guns. And this is the famous, obviously, gun that he pulls out again in that final scene in the Belfry, where obviously he threatens to shoot himself and Vicky Vale. And obviously it's the classic joke gun with the flag saying bang there. So that's a lovely touch. And then finally, you get this hairpiece, which obviously means that you can swap out the hat on the head, which we'll do, obviously, once we've had a closer look at the figure.
Never rub another man's rhubarb.
So here he is. This is the Jack Nicholson, not really Jack Nicholson, Joker from the 1989 Batman movie. You can see there's an essence of Nicholson's Joker in the sculpt. Yes, it doesn't quite look like him. It's not got as full a kind of like face as what Jack Nicholson had when he filmed the role. But obviously it's got the smile, it's got the eyebrows, it's got the hair. You know, if this was produced probably, 10 years ago, before we had proper digital face sculpting and, you know, the advancements in action figure technology, everybody would be raving about this figure and saying, oh, that's a great likeness of Jack Nicholson. But obviously in this day and age, yes, we know action figure companies can do better. But again, we also know the reason why they are not able to do an exact likeness. So I've seen a couple of videos where they've said that his jacket is quite shiny, in fact too shiny, and I actually don't think it is. I think this coming out of the packaging is just about right. Obviously watching some other videos I was thinking, oh, is this going to need some like Mr. Super Clear matte spray on it? But I don't think it does. Obviously you've got a very shiny scarf, you've got the unique orange shirt, and then you've got the blue waistcoat as well. And you've got these wonderful checkered trousers, which just look absolutely magnificent. That is an amazing paint job from McFarlane. I mean, whether it's printed on, which I presume it is, it's probably printed on there. But obviously, the issue that you do have, obviously, if you're moving the legs around like that, obviously, you're then going to get the break of the joint there. That obviously doesn't show like that kind of like played kind of checked trouser there. So obviously I think I'm just gonna really have him standing up. Obviously he's got the purple shoes, he's got the toe articulation, you've got all the usual kind of like 22 points of articulation that you get with McFarlane. Obviously you can move his arms out like that. Obviously he's a little bit stiff. Obviously he's got some movement in the waist, quite a lot of movement there. And yeah, you know, he's got, obviously you can move him at the top of the arms. You've got obviously movement at, oh, he's a little bit stiff there. You've got movement at the elbow. And obviously you've then got the hands on a ball joint. Now, obviously the ones that he does come with are gripped hands, which obviously you can use to either hold the guns, the megaphone, or, oh, I forgot to show his cane. here is his cane that he has as well, which has some nice like silver paintwork attached to it. So yeah, as we've said, it's the essence of the character, and I think sometimes you can forgive action companies as long as they get the essence of the character, you know. And you know, I think this is going to do. I'm going to be happy with this. You know, I wouldn't have paid obviously twice the amount if that's what it would have cost to get an accurate Jack Nicholson. So this is obviously retailing for around about 32, 33 pounds, obviously over here, and then around about I think $34, $35 in America and elsewhere. So, you know, if Nicholson does charge an extortionate amount, I think you would have been looking at double that price for a standard action figure, which, you know, I think you're getting into SH Figure Arts territory there and Mezco. So I can understand why they didn't approach him. Oh, they may have approached him and may have just got a figure back and said, nah, that's not cost effective. But there you go. So let's just pop the hat off, which slides in to some grooves. I don't know if you can see that there. There's a little bit of a groove there. So just, that pops off a lot easier than what I thought. So you can see obviously the grooves there, that obviously where the hairpiece goes in. And obviously it's a peg on the top there. So you just kind of slide that in there. So that's very easy to pop on and off. So that's good. And then if you wanted the non-hatted version, you've got this here. So again, what you're going to do is match it up and see. Now apparently this hair is apparently a bit harder to get on, so we'll just push it down a little bit. Yeah, again, you can see the essence of the character there. I mean, the main thing is obviously the face isn't as full. Jack Nicholson had more of a receding hairline than the hairline that they've given the action figure. So they've complimented him that way, put it that way. Yeah, so you could have the non-hatted version should you choose to, but I'm going to go with the iconic hatted version because he does wear the hat quite a lot in the movie, and obviously that famous scene during the parade at the end, and obviously his famous entrance as well, where he comes in and says, yeah, Jack is dead, my friend. You can call me Joker. So, yeah, I'm really pleased with this. I think it's a great compromise. And, yeah, it's the final kind of like key of getting the kind of like 80s, 90s Batman figures. The only outstanding one that we have is Bane from Batman and Robin, which they haven't done. I'm not particularly fussed about that. I haven't got any of the Schumacher villain action figures. Obviously, I've got Catwoman and Penguin from Batman Returns because I really like that movie as well. I would have liked Poison Ivy because I thought that figure was very good. It was a very good likeness of Uma Thurman, but I didn't find it anywhere and it sold out like hotcakes. This is also selling out like hotcakes. On the secondary market on eBay, it's going for 70, 80 quid already. So I got it from Amazon, and as you probably saw my post from a couple of days ago, they promised it on April the 12th, and then somebody said, oh no, it's not in stock, and it was a pre-order, and I was thinking, why do you do this? Why do you do pre-orders when you know you can't fulfill them? And then they said it's going to be available, then sent to me by the 1st of June. And I was like, yeah, I'll be surprised if that happens, because the same thing happened with the McFarlane DC Multiverse Cyborg Superman. I did that as an Amazon pre-order because that was the only place that was saying that it was still in stock or available. Everywhere else had sold out. And I waited over a year for that figure, and they kept putting the release date back and back and back and back. And yeah, and then they just cancelled the order in the end. So I actually thought this was going to happen with this figure. So I'm very surprised that today, which is the 17th of April, that I'm recording this, that it actually turned up, because I was expecting another long wait. So glad to finally get my hands on the 89 Joker.
Love that Joker.
And finally, here he is with Michael Keaton's Batman. I've got him posed with the megaphone and the small gun with the little bang flag. I think that's probably how I'm going to have him. I may swap it out for the cane, but at the moment I think he looks good with that. It's just the colour of the megaphone. I think it really adds to the figure, and obviously it makes him stand out even more with his purple coat, bright blue waistcoat, orange shirt, and those trousers, which are just really, really good. So yeah, you can pick this up. Well, you try and pick this up. I'm pretty sure they should be getting new stock in. I think it's going to be one of those that might get a re-release. We might even get a different version. We might get one from the art gallery scene where he's got the beret on his head, and they might do a good face swap. Would be one showing him with half his face and half like skin coloured makeup, like melting down his face. I think that might be a good variant figure to do, but obviously we've only got a couple of months left of McFarlane doing DC Multiverse. They really don't have long left. They've got to the end of 2026, and then the license reverts to Mattel, and they have obviously announced that as well as doing a 6-inch range that's going to be aimed at kids, which they've released some promotional images for, which people have said they look rubbish. Yeah, but they're meant to be action figures for toys. They're not collectors' toys. They are doing a 7-inch line, so they are continuing this scale. So again, we'll have to wait and see if Mattel's whatever they call their DC Multiverse line, whether that's as good as what McFarlane's line has got over the last couple of years, because it really has. It's been one of those lines that had a bit of a rocky start when it was first announced in 2020. A couple of those early figures were a bit ropey, but it really has blossomed, and it's one of my favourite action figure lines. So it's a shame that they've lost the license, but yeah, who knows what the future will bring. Anyway, if you liked this video, then please leave us a like. It really does help out the channel. And also, if you've not yet hit that subscription button, please do so. I really do appreciate your support. And if you want to obviously show more support, you can hit the link in the description below and buy me a coffee. That's always a nice touch. Obviously, you don't have to. But also hit that notification bell to be notified whenever we upload any brand new videos. We have another DC Multiverse figure on its way. I have ordered the Brandon Routh Superman Returns figure, so look out for that. I'm pretty sure that's going to be being posted out to me in the next couple of weeks, so I will upload a review of that when it comes. And plus, we've still got the YOLO Park Megatron figure to review, and some other lovely surprises to come in the next coming weeks. So we are back, and thank you for your continued support. I really do appreciate it, and we will see you very, very soon on Bearded Geek Toy Reviews. Okay, bye now.
I was a kid when I killed your parents. I mean, I say I made you, you gotta say you made me. And how childish can you get, huh? You wouldn't hit a guy with glasses on, would you? Huh?